am, but we're gonna all do this together. All right, so let's start with the rabbi.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, welcome, nice to see everybody. Back on Zoom and Facebook, and we are delighted to spend Shabbat with all of you. We have a very special evening for you tonight. This is our family Shabbat, and what better way to celebrate our family Shabbat than to have a bunch of families lead us in our worship experience. So tonight it's the 7th graders, most of whom have already had their bar bat mitzvah, a couple of whom unfortunately have had to move it back because of COVID. But we've got a huge 7th grade class, and I'm so happy that all of them participated. We're also going to say a special blessing for all of our Shorashim religious school teachers tonight. So enjoy. Let's worship together. Let's be in fellowship together, and let's be in community with one another. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And we thought, since it's a 7th grade service tonight, what a better way to get us started than having our very own Meredith Hirschberg, the 7th grade teacher, kick us off for our Shabbat service with our opening song.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna hold my light up in the air. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna hold my light up in the air. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna hold my light up in the air. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. No one's gonna put it out. I'm gonna let it shine. No one's gonna put it out. I'm gonna let it shine. No one's gonna put it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Very nice. So I know that Eric Forti, who is our IT director for Shabbat services, has put in the chat box, in the chat room. You go down, you can scroll down to the bottom of your page and hit chat. And he has posted, and is probably just did it right now, to everyone, the Siddur that you can click on the link and follow along, because you don't physically have a prayer book in front of you. I do, says Rabbi Rosencrantz there on the side. And I will tell you what pages we are on according to that, that Siddur that you have, that prayer book. You'll see at the very bottom, the link, there's these little brackets. And if you just put the page number into those brackets, it will immediately take you to the page. So how do we begin Shabbat? We always begin Shabbat by lighting our Shabbat candles. And we are going to go to the Eisenberg family, where Marissa is going to lead us in lighting our Shabbat candles.
It did unmute.
No, it didn't.
Okay, and we're unmuted. Go ahead.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
I think you're supposed to lead your.
Let's sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Many of the readings that, all of the readings that you're going to hear tonight came from the students themselves. A lot of them are introductions to prayer. Some of them are their own thoughts. Miss Meredith spent a portion of the class this year teaching our seventh graders bullying, but from the perspective of Judaism specifically, and what Torah and Jewish sacred text teaches us about the topic. So you'll hear a lot about that. And one of the first readers that we have is Logan Memberg.
Actually, we're back to Marissa first.
Sorry, before Logan goes, Marissa has a reading.
Did you want me to do an intro?
Why don't we have Miss Meredith?
All right, Meredith, you're on.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Shabbat Shalom. We are certainly facing so many challenges and aware that a new normal will be in our future. One thing we can certainly predict, though, is how incredible seventh graders will always be. It's often a bit challenging as their teacher to know what's really being processed in all the varied subjects we talk about throughout the year. I try to get them to think outside the box and how to form opinions, and letting them know that forming opinions will always be a process. My goal is to make them aware of their Judaism and make it a part of their lives, not just something they practice in synagogue. We shared so many discussions around Midrash of Torah, anti-Semitism, the Holocaust, drunk driving is related to Purim, and so many other discussions related to our holidays. They will be sharing their thoughts on our Shabbat prayers, as well as one of the areas we discussed in class. Personally, I was so touched by what they are sharing with you, as it's validation that they do get it. Again, Shabbat Shalom, and we hope that the Shabbat will be one you will hold close to your heart, and you will share the same confidence I now have in the future of Judaism.
Okay, and now we are going to go to Logan. Thank you, Miss Meredith.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So
We're going to Marissa first. We're looking at two different lists. We're going to Marissa.
Go ahead, Marissa.
In the beginning of the year, we decorated cupcakes using the same ingredients to show how we are all created in the image of God. Everyone's cupcakes look different, just like how we are all different. The cupcakes were also to help us understand the Holocaust better. The cupcakes sat in the center of the table. No one could touch or eat them until the end of class. During the Holocaust, the people would only be allowed a small portion, split amongst a group, and often waited hours or days until they ate next. Although we did not experience this exactly the same, we were able to understand their situation better.
I'm not sure where we are.
We're going to go to Logan Memberg next, please.
I tried.
Go ahead.
Pharaoh was one of the biggest bullies in the Torah. He tried to take control of the Jews by physical and mental oppression. Like today, many bullies beat up or mentally harass their victims to show physical dominance. In the story of Passover, there was a person who stood up for the victims and confronted the bully. I'm talking about Moses. Moses went to Pharaoh multiple times and asked him to stop. Pharaoh refused, and God punished Pharaoh with the 10 plagues. Although bullying methods today are different, bullies are still the same. Bullies want to control their victims and use fear to show dominance. The Torah teaches us to be like Moses and not to be afraid to stand up for what we feel is right.
Page 38.
Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha, ishmiyanu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Shem u'tiferet v'litzila la la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'beracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, zot ma'aseh b'machshava tchila la la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Let's go to verse 5 for tonight. Hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumiori, uri shirnaveri, kivod Adonai alayich la la la, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise as we greet the Sabbath bride. Verse 9. Boi b'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha, u'v'tzola, toch emuneh, am segula, boi chala, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
All right, thank you, Cantor. That was beautiful. Nice to see Shai. And now we're going to turn it over to Emma Schulman.
The Barhu is the beginning of a formal service by blessing God. It is a call and response form where the leader commands and the congregation responds. We bow from our waist during this prayer. It is a call to worship. This prayer says that God is always going to bless us, help our world light up the dark corners, and help everyone feel accompanied. It shows that Adonai helps reveal the glory and joy. It also says that God rises even higher, meaning that God helps people no matter what situation they are in. Please rise for the Barhu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Everyone, yalalai, yalalai, lai, lai, yalalai, lai, lai,
And now we're going to hear from Hunter Calliser, who wrote a very nice piece.
When God created light on the fourth day, he gave men the ability to see. However, for the first 3 days, there was still light. It was just inside of us. I think that is probably the most important light there is, an internal belief in both ourselves and God.
Ahavat Olam, the prayer for the never-ending love that God gives to us, is going to be read by Liam Pash.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Avad Olam is a prayer about God's commandments and how we follow them. It's about how we rise up to God's commandments and meet God's expectations. This is Avad Olam. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, law and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 52, the watchword of our faith is going to be led by Alden Borello.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
God, Baruch Shem, don't we say the rest?
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, yes. Ve'ahavta, typically I would say, please join in with us in singing the Ve'ahavta. This is a melody that I'm going to say 100% of you have never heard before, and I'll let our chanter introduce it to us, Aaron Velosin.
Page 54.
I feel very connected to this prayer because of its story behind its melody. Instead of chanting the usual Hafta, I like to sing it in a tune that my parents and relatives in Argentina sing every Shabbat. My sister also sang this at her bat mitzvah, and I was planning on singing it in mine. It's supposed to be next month, but since COVID-19, it was changed. I don't know. Well, I don't know when. Anyway, singing this melody makes me feel closer to my family, even though they're very far away. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשובך ובקומך ושבתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Very nice. Thank you. That was wonderful. It's interesting. Most people don't know that Jews all around the world have different tunes and different prayers in their Siddur. So it's nice to hear a chant, a tune from a totally different place in the world. So thank you for that. And Hunter Calliser, we're going to go back to Hunter, page 57, to introduce our Micha Mocha.
The current state of the world. This passage is a perfect description of what we as society need to believe in. It discusses the idea that in tough times, we need to believe that the future will bring brightness. However, the only way to find a path to better days is together. Even as we are told to stay apart, we need to remember that we are helping each other towards a healthy tomorrow. Because of how difficult these times are, faith in God is almost important. These words are emet v'emunah. Show us just that. With faith of togetherness, we can achieve anything.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better way, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And let's go to Josh
Joshua.
Grimawat.
Well, the portion I read, Micha Mocha, the first few lines of the Micha Mocha question how anybody could possibly be as great as God. The next few lines represent how people believe in God and how God will reign forever. And at the end, we thank God for, quote, redeeming Israel. And it means a lot to me because it makes me think of how important God is. Okay, now I can't.
Standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. The sea she parts, Micha Mocha, sea she parts, Micha Mocha, the sea she parts, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Everybody, freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. One God, Micha Mocha, one God, Micha Mocha, one God, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. Freedom's on our way. Freedom's on our way. Back to Joshua. That was some good dancing, though. And some nice backgrounds, Logan.
Well, to this was the liberation of the Jews from slavery in Egypt. The Jews, led by Moses, left Egypt. They need to go to a new land with their enemies. Despite the fact that people there were bad, the Jews knew they had to strengthen their faith in God to help themselves proceed. Moses led the Jews safely through the Red Sea to the birth of a new nation known as Israel. Parting of the Red Sea was proof that God was almighty, and faith in God and knowing the importance of God should not be lost.
And Hashki Venu is on page 61, Michael Kingwell.
Okay. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. That we may lie down in peace and rise up to do your will. The passage states that if there is love and understanding, then peace and friendship can cushion us from the hardships of life. God will help us have good friends and family who will support us and give us hope. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are accepted and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem. This paragraph tells us that God will act as our shelter. God can act as our shelter in our minds while also providing us with physical shelter in the home. Please join us in the singing of Hashkivenu.
And Michael, what you wrote really inspired me to pick this version of Hashkivenu for tonight, because we are right now in one of life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom.
So Cantor, I have a request. Can we deviate from the script and maybe do Vishamru and see what kind of participation we get?
Your host says no deviations. Just kidding. Go ahead, Cantor.
I'm all about deviating.
Vishamru.
Wait a minute. I gotta switch this up. I expect a lot of dancing though. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'ridolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'ridolam. Ben Yovel, Ben Yisrael, Oti Leolam, Oti. Yes, Logan, Leolam. Veshamru, B'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot, et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam b'rito. You're killing me, Smalls. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Everyone, Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, woo, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'ritolam. V'vayom hashvi Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat la'asot, wow, et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rito. One more time, Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot, et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rito. Logan.
That was fun. Logan, you're
That
going to
was
teach
great.
me how to do that after this because I'm going to
Good
use it for
choice.
future Friday
Yeah.
night services. And now we're going to go to the Shulman family for Emma again.
In the story of Abraham and Isaac, God calls out to Abraham and he replies with Hineni, which means here I am. Abraham is commanded by God to sacrifice his son Isaac as a burnt offering. Abraham and Isaac spent many days climbing to the top of Mount Moriah with their donkey. When they arrived, Abraham built the altar to lay his son on. When Abraham was about to use a knife to slay Isaac, an angel from God called out and told him to sacrifice a ram instead. We learn the importance of the meaning of Hineni and being present in relating to our family and those around us.
And now we're going to switch over to my man, Daniel Robert.
The movie The Wave is about a high school experiment where the teacher pretends to be a leader like Hitler and transforms his class into followers of the group. The movie showed me how easy it is to be fooled. Just because other people are doing something does not mean that you should do the same thing. We should not blindly follow what others are doing without an understanding of the purpose.
Page 64 is the introduction to Tefillah, Alden Borello.
This prayer makes me feel like a member of the tribe because of all the traditions I've been exposed to all of my life. The warmth of getting my family together at a Shabbat dinner, where the stories of my ancestors are told by my mother, my mother's mother, and my mother's mother after that, feels like a giant hug from all our previous family and the family that is growing in front of my eyes. This prayer explains how lucky we are to be here at this moment and to have so much family to envelop us in love during this frightening time and to remember what is precious to us and holds us together.
So I'll ask you to join in the chanting. I will lead us on page 66, the introduction to the Amidah, and then Aaron Velosan will take over the chanting. Please rise if you are able to.
Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Satai Tifta. Anananananana Ufiagi. Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana Satai Tifta. Ananananana Ufiagi. Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Adonai. Ananana Satai Tifta. Ananananana Ufiagi. Ufiagi Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Isaac, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomil Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol. וזוכר שתי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי אתה להושיע. ברית אתה מחיי הלכים וחסד, מחיי יעקב ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני אחר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומתעמלה, מלך ממית ומקיים ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני לחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Alden Barillo will share with us her writing.
From the movie The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I learned how horrific mankind can be to people who are different. This movie impacted me because it described a possibility of true events that could have happened to anyone in any part of the world. It corresponds to my prayer because the prayer is about how lucky we are to live in this time and have family to hold on to. But in the movie, a young Jewish boy is isolated from his family and friends. He does not get the comfort of living in a good time for Jewish people, and when times get hard, he does not have his family to support him. I am grateful for the family that I have and the situation that we live in, which enables all of us to share one environment and celebrate the happy times and lean on each other for the sad times.
Setting aside the seventh day for Shabbat, Kiddushat HaYom, Isabella Wolf.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. All week we are working or in school and living our lives. But at the end of every week we have Shabbat. Shabbat is a day of resting, relaxing, and not worrying. It is a time to reconnect with God. No matter what is going on in the world, Shabbat always comes. We use this day to center ourselves and reflect. For example, right now we are living in a virus outbreak where people are getting sick and are stressed. But we can remember that we have Shabbat to come back and to rest, regroup, and pray.
Beautiful. Now we're going to go back to Liam Pash for his part.
Shabbat Shalom again. And in class, these help Jewish people find freedom by going to the forests in Russia. The brothers were millers and farmers, but when many of their family members were killed by Nazis, they fled to the forest to seek freedom. They saved over 1,200 Jews by the time, and they were liberators.
Page 77, and we're going to go to Logan Memberg again. Top of page 77.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life. Wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. My prayer is Hodah, meaning thank you. We are thanking God for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, and the awareness of soul. We should be thankful for what God gives us every day. If we take our time and look around you, you would be grateful of how many things God has given you.
Thank you, Logan. So shalom, what does shalom mean? Shalom means lots of things, and we're going to learn about that through Daniel Robert.
The word shalom means three things: hello, goodbye, and peace. Hello is what everyone says when they greet another person. It is used as a sign of respect and to make the other person feel included. Goodbye is what people say when they are finished with a conversation. It is also used as a sign of respect and is meant to bring a formal end to a discussion. The final definition of the word shalom is peace. To me, the word peace means happiness. Wherever there is peace, people are happy, and vice versa. Wherever people are happy, there is peace. Please pray silently.
Shalom, Roma. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, shalom. Oh, shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hallelujah. Let's see all the seventh graders do their hand motions. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down, bring peace down, bring peace down.
May we all have peace. May we always experience peace. You know, it's kind of hard to distinguish the days as we're in this quarantine situation. One of the beautiful things about tonight is that by joining for this hour with one another, we really are able to distinguish or separate the Shabbat day, which begins tonight and goes till tomorrow night, together and with our family. It's almost as if otherwise you wouldn't even know that it's a different, special kind of day. So I am overjoyed and thrilled to be spending all of this with all of you. So let's go now to Mr. Kingwell. Back to Michael.
Jacob's ladder was a story that distinguished Jacob with the responsibilities and heritage of the ethnic people chosen by God. The ladder signifies the divine connection between God and the earthly realm, specifically Jacob's family. The dream reminded Jacob he had received God's graces and encouraged him to fulfill the destiny of his people. Jacob makes a vow afterwards, saying, "If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I may come again to my father's house in peace, the Lord shall be my God."
So you can turn to page 271 for the Mishabera prayer. And in a moment, we're going to take a second to pause, and you can think of the people in your family and your community who are in need of any kind of healing. And certainly we think not only of the first responders, the healthcare professionals in our community, we also think of those whose families and neighbors have been affected by COVID-19. And our prayers are with them for a spiritual healing if they've lost somebody in their family or somebody who's close to them. Unfortunately, Cantor and I keep getting news every single day of somebody who's related to somebody. So this prayer belongs to them as well for their healing as they begin a journey of having lost a loved one. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzhak v'Yakov, Sar Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim v'rapeh. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill and in need of healing. Usually in the synagogue, we read names off publicly because we're on Facebook and Zoom, and it's being recorded for the privacy of everyone. We're just going to have you name those people in your heart.
Mishaberach avotenu mikol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikol habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And now we're going to go back to Isabella Wolf for her statement that she wrote.
This year we saw the movie Praying with Leor, about a young boy who has Down syndrome, a genetic abnormality that causes developmental and intellectual delays. Leor is about to have his bar mitzvah, but instead of starting his Torah studies like I did a few months before, his journey died. This was a journey that lasted years with a commitment and dedication from him and his family. He went through many challenges to get there, but when it was time for his special day, he had a visit. This movie has several meanings. It talks about the love of a community and family that rallied behind a boy that was working towards his bar mitzvah. It showed how much love he had for his faith, that he loved to pray and learn Torah. It talks about family and how each member, even at times having some doubt, stood by him and helped him become successful. So in the end, it goes to show that even if you have a disability, that does not mean it stops you from doing what you love, which in Leor's case is praying.
Thank you, Isabella. Thanks for everybody for those wonderful pieces that you wrote. Thank you. We still have some more, but that's so nice. I'm so inspired. That's the word that Cantor used earlier in this service by all of you. It's amazing. When I got here, you guys were in first grade, and literally I've now seen you just grow and grow and grow and grow. So thank you for all that you do. And Miss Meredith, thank you for your leadership. So this is Family Shabbat, the first Shabbat of the month. My favorite part of the service, which is celebrating everybody's birthdays and anniversaries. So here's what I'm going to do. I got a list in front of me from our congregation. Don't start texting or putting in the chat room yet. Anybody who I may have missed. Let me read it off first. And then afterwards, I'm going to ask you if there's somebody who I missed that's sitting next to you who has a May birthday or anniversary to put their name in it. But right now, we are going to make sure that we say happy anniversary to Julie and Matthew Bucksbaum, Moshe and Andrea Farhi, Neil and Jill Goldhaber, Sandy and Harvey Hartman, Mark and my colleague in the office, Miss Sherry Kratenstein. They're on Jeffrey and Amy Robert. By the way, Jeffrey, Mary Kilroy says hello. Our co-president, Jeffrey, and his wife, Nancy Sharkey, Andrew and Jamie Steinberg, Alan and Carol Sternlead, and Super Temple Beth Torah members, Joel and Jana Zaidspinner. Happy birthday to, ready? Tyler Davis of the Kilt fame, Brent Roy, James Bowers, Michael Samarel, Jason Daravinsky, Matthew Koenig, Jamie Ackerman, Howie Zustel, Fred Siegel, my cousin, Jason Salzman, Amy Robert, it's twice now we get the Robert name in there, Selma Rudnick Waters, Jerry Kahan, Miss Cheryl Herman from our preschool, Steve Metzger, Andy Schlein, Alice Rosenblatt, exec committee member, Kenneth Kingwell, Michael's dad, who's on, Arlene Bakerman, who's watching us from Boston, Harvey Hartman, so we got to him not only happy anniversary, but also happy birthday, Charlie Lipton, Rabbi Emeritus Stephen Pinsky, boy, this list goes on, David Manillo, Freda Goldstein, Sam Glucksman, Stephen Kay, Susan Kellner, Sabina Dinner, we miss you, the dinners, Rhoda Zenley, Edsel Dimowat, I know he's watching his son participate tonight, Leslie Johnston, Miss Meredith has a birthday in May, Lisa Estrak, Joe Price, Meryl Turkowitz, Joy Klein, Andrea Barron, David Roth, Karen Jockel, Anat Pamitat, Mark Rims, Stuart Robinson, counselor, Steve Silvermans, Scott Loss, Jen Sealouse, Sherry Bressler, wow, this keeps going, Danielle Cohen, whose husband's going to be coming home soon from the military, Bethany Silverman, Marie Doggett, and Sherry Goodman. All right, who'd I miss? Carly. I missed Carly Forte, Jesse Blecker, Ethan Michael Levine, May 15th, 8th grade. Anna Schulman. How did she not make it on the list? David Coos. Is he the Stetson Mad Hatter? I get all those Cooses mixed up. Anybody else? Anniversaries?
Yes, we have. Well, yeah, Rhoda Hassan, which is my mother-in-law. Happy birthday. She's on it tonight.
All right. Happy birthday, Rhoda. Very good. So I don't see anybody else. Happy birthday to everybody. Happy anniversary. Cantor.
Happy birthday to you, an anniversary to you. Happy birthday and anniversary. Happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Nisuin Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
So in a minute, I'm going to turn it over to the cantor because she's also our religious school director for Shorashim. But I just want to say a quick word to our 7th graders. I am amazed by you. I thank you for participating. I hope that I see you often as you enter into the high school years coming up in a couple of years ahead from you. You've been given the basis and the foundation of Judaism, and now it's up to you to really embrace it. We want to see you as much as possible. We can't wait to see what all of you do with the next phase of your life. To the parents, you have invested your child with us at Temple Beth Torah, and your family as well. And it's different than when I was growing up, because kids weren't pulled in all kinds of different directions here and there. And there were a lot of things that you could have made a priority other than your community synagogue. But you decided to set an example and to show your children what it means to belong to a community and to support it. And I want to say thank you for that. So thank you for giving us your children. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Cantor, because your kids get to know me and the Cantor and everybody else in the synagogue, but really the ones who have shaped their Jewish identity more than anybody else at Temple Beth Torah has been their teachers.
Absolutely. And just so you 7th graders know, I don't know if you know this, but those of you who have been at Temple Beth Torah for years, your teachers are on tonight. Not only your 7th grade teacher, but we've got, 6th and 5th and 4th, and everyone's here tonight celebrating you, as we also have to give thanks to the teachers that you've had over the past however many years. So that's what teacher appreciation is all about. You've learned so much this year, and you've learned so much in your years at Temple Beth Torah. I'm looking around because I wrote something that I can't find. So I just want to really extend such gratitude to our teachers and our teacher assistants, and Jen Sealaus is here. Jen's in the office helping us with so much. So our kindergarten teachers, I'll just read everybody. Judy Quinn, I know she's here, and Miss Beth Silverman, Lori Spillvogel, Jane Gartner, Samantha Fishman, Aviva Kennigan, Susie Kelly, Ina Tessenholtz, Robin Forti, I know she's here, Linda Schreier, Samantha Schisler, Robin Fleming, who is 6th, and she's also 8th and 9th, and of course, Meredith Hirschberg, and one additional, Jerry Becker, who really tried something different this year, totally out of the box. I decided this was like a pie in the sky dream of mine to take her out of the classroom, which was sad, but to get her to work with all of the kids as kind of like a director of creative art. So it was a really fun year trying that out. So I want to read this poem that is not mine. I found it on an Israeli website, and it does not give you the author. It only says that this was written by Micah. Just Micah. It's like Cher or Madonna. But I loved it, and I thought it was so sweet. For all the hours, all the days, all the months and years, for all the wisdom, all the love, the laughter, and the tears, for the goals you set, the challenges met, and vision ever clear, for the students and the parents and the colleagues far and near, for the creativity, the patience, the teamwork, the commitment, the energy, the unseen and unknown sacrifices, the immeasurable yet tangible impact, the countless stories, some forgotten and untold. Because of teachers like you, it is abundantly clear that teaching is truly the noblest career. With more than great thanks for your craft and your art, we bless you today with all the love in our hearts. I certainly could not have said it any better. And, this was a year when we had to really roll with the punches, and I'm so grateful that we are all together in our team, and looking forward to many, many years ahead. There's something special coming. Stay tuned. After Shabbat, you'll get a special email. It will be delicious, and we will have fun. And but for now, Rabbi and I would like to bless you.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And may God's face turn upon you and always give you peace. Amen. Cantor, thank you so very much. It's funny, my phone is blowing up with texts of people saying thank you for the birthdays. I'm glad everybody enjoyed that. So we have a member of our Board of Trustees, our sisterhood president, Andrea Strom, who's going to give us some greetings before our closing prayers.
Okay. Hi, just a second. Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate the 7th graders and thank the teachers for all the wonderful work that they've done throughout the term. And tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, there is going to be a Torah study. So look forward to that. And I just want to say how wonderful it is to see all of you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Pay attention to your emails on Monday too. We've got something going on every day of the week. Take a break with us, even if it's just to check in, meet up with the clergy, listen to Cantor's music. We work hard on trying to bring things to you virtually. So thank all of you. Okay, let's begin to wrap it up with going back to Aaron Velosin.
When Noah had built an ark to save species from God's flood, God made a promise that if humans respected their share of responsibility, God would never destroy the world again. The rainbow that was created after the flood is a symbolic of God's promise. The half circle represents God's promise, and the other half would be humans keeping their part of the deal.
Let's turn to page 300, which is Aleinu. And if you can, we're going to rise and face east to give our praise to God one more time.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחת האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המוענם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
So we're going to turn to page 312 for the mourner's Kaddish. And we are going to pause for a moment to think of and remember. We say in Judaism, when somebody has passed, Zichrono Livracha, may his memory be for blessing. Memory is a very large part of who we are as Jews. And so once a week, we memorialize those loved ones who died during this week and past years. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories truly be for blessing. Our deepest condolences to the families of Jerry Bookman, husband of Patty Bookman, Abraham Ezra, brother of Seema Feldberg, and Allison Schwartz, daughter of Robin and Richard Schwartz, and good friend of Lisa Seltzer. Those whose anniversaries of their death fell within this past week: Stuart Bernstein, Jeannie Block, Nathan Daniels, Lee Friedman, Abraham Goldman, Morris Clate, Eva Cohn, Louis Langfus, Dorothy Nussbaum, George Ortiza, Rose Portugal, Levon Ramondi, Harold Howard Seidenberg, Anna Silber, Louis Strom, and Paula Weber. And you can put in the chat room if there's a name of someone whose yard site should be observed this week before we rise to say the mourner's Kaddish. You can just type it in and send it. I don't see anybody. So with that, let's rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yamad divrei hirtei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala u'v'zman kariv v'mu'amin. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'elamin kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata v'zami ram me'alma v'imruamin. Yehei shloma rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav u'yasei shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all of Israel, to which we say amen. Okay, Kiddush and Motzi. Everybody take their Kiddush cups and let's raise them high and welcome Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. And I know we're going to snack later today, so I'll take out my challah, and Cantor's going to lead us in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, tzitei avon.
Publix delivery challah. Okay, closing song. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Until there's peace upon all of us, we have to work to get peace in all of the world.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom, ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Last time. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Once again, thank you to Eric Forty, to my partner, Cantor Jen, all the wonderful seventh graders. Teachers, thank you for your passion that you bring each and every Sunday morning to our teaching our children. Makor HaChaim, a source of life, we thank you for the blessing of Shabbat, and we ask for the blessing of peace upon all of us. Amen. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.